Hello, I'm Wayne Holmes. We're here in the Franconia strewn field today. We're out to hunt meteorites. What started out to be a simple script turned into a real bonus today. I have to be honest about that. With me today is John Wolf. John Wolf found this field. He's credited with finding the strewn field. We have Larry Sloan with us today, and we also have Jim Smaller. These are some of the best meteorite hunters, I believe, in the country. They've spent their time, they've paid their dues. Some of what you see here in front of us, of course, and all of it has been found in this area. And we're here to talk a little bit about these guys. The script changed, as I said, so we're going to have a roundtable forum here. I think what we're going to do is start off with John here. He's right next to me. John, you found the field. When?
I found it in late '02, and I just kind of scanning the area, and I come across the first one. And after that, I had to have it checked out and analyzed, and then I kind of let it go for a while. And I come back once in a while and look in here. And about 2 years later, well, a year and a half, year later, I driving down the road and I spotted the second one. And after that,
It's
a half hour later, I got another one. I got three of them.
oh wow!
And then big ones. They weren't small either.
They hadn't been found yet. They were sticking right out of the ground, I assume, visible.
Boulders almost like.
Can I ask you guys on that subject? Why here? Why this terrain? Why the geology? Why do we see them sticking out of the ground? A lot of times they're right there, right where you can pick them up.
Well, they really shouldn't be. It should be buried, but this is a kind of special area. They're being blown out of here.
It's a real dry environment here, and this ground really hasn't moved all that much down through all the thousands of years. These meteorites here that are found in this field have accumulated over a period of a lot of years, and they're not deteriorating unless they're deposited in a wet, moist basin. Other than that, the ground's very inductive to protecting a meteorite.
Is it because meteorites have a lot of iron and nickel in them that they're subjected to rust?
Yes.
In a lot of wet climates, and that's why they don't last as long, and because we're so arid.
That, and if they're exposed to a lot of moisture, and especially in your freezing temperatures, you get what they call salt wedging. And once the meteorite starts to open up, the salt wedging gets in there, and that and seeds and various different factors crack it open and just spread it right on out. And then after it gets opened up, then it starts more or less melting back into the environment.
Back to you, John. When you found this field, of course, a strewn field they generally form in what, elliptical patterns?
Yeah. Anywhere from just a mile wide, maybe 3 miles wide, and anywhere to 2 miles to 7 or 8 miles long.
And the data, of course, that's been brought in has been brought in by a lot of other hunters that are probably giving you coordinates, and these are coordinates with GPS that they use in the field, and they're giving you the coordinates. So now you're able to establish the field. When you started, you were really guessing. You could be outside the field, not find anything for days, and then step back in the field and realize you were back in the meteorites again.
Yeah, the very first one I found was right up, as we now know, was right at the edge of the field, and sandwiched between two large washes, and it was kind of hard to, actually, decide where you want to go.
Sure, and that's the Franconia.
Yes.
John found the first Franconia meteorite, and that has been analyzed and classified as the Franconia meteorite. As we get through this, we'll find out that, of course, Larry and Jim have some remarkable finds here. The field now, as it's established, is, what were you telling me earlier?
It's about 3 miles by about 7 miles long.
That's a pretty good sized field. And although it's been hunted since 2004, am I correct?
Yeah, the first one was 2002, and then
2002. Okay.
2004 started, finding them.
Seriously finding them. They found probably hundreds of them at this particular point in time.
Sure.
You have the Franconia. Larry, you found some remarkable finds. What do you have here now?
I found the Buck Mountain Horse meteorite in 2004.
In 2004.
After John found the main field.
What was the grams on that original Franconia, John?
4,000.
4,000. 4,000 grams. That's a considerable amount of grams. And that would weigh in at about how many pounds?
Probably about 8.
8 pounds. That is remarkable. Larry, you also have another one out here?
Yes, this one right here I found out here. It's 3,600 grams.
That is remarkable. That is absolutely fantastic, Larry. And you have a lot more. I've seen a lot more than you have. In fact, you hunt all over the country. In fact, all of you guys hunt all over the country. But you hunt in Colorado, Nevada, California,
New Mexico, Arizona,
all over the place. I know you've got some great finds. The guy sitting next to you over here, Jim Smaller, he holds quite a record here, and that's sitting right there on top of these. These are irons. Now there's 2 classifications. You guys can step in here too. An iron is total iron, as opposed to what we have call our stonies. Go ahead, Jim, with that.
This iron right here, this 54-gram iron. Right now, this one right here is about 32. It was 43 grams, and I sent it in to have it classified, and it's currently being worked on right now. The assumption right now is that these irons possibly separated out of one of these chondrites. Mm-hmm. You can imagine this, when this chondrite first entered our atmosphere, it blew up into thousands and thousands of pieces. These irons separated out just about like raisins out of a loaf of raisin bread. And they came down, they just rained all over this screw field. Now this is the largest one so far that's been found in this field. And they range all the way from this size right on down. As you can see, there's various ones here on the table, right on down. Rice-size pieces. John there has made a number of nice finds in the irons, as well as Larry here, all over the screw field. And we're getting back to what we were talking about a while ago on the size of the field. We've mapped it. And the mapping has been done with 54 different people have donated coordinates to put this map together. Larry was one of the very first ones, and John has supplied coordinates. So that's how this field has more or less gotten mapped. And all that mapping has went into ASU for future generations.
It's important. You guys are pioneering a real local strewn field to us. I'm from Bullhead. You're from Kingman. Larry's from Colorado. John's from Iowa. Rapid City, Iowa, as a matter of fact, right? And so John's a long ways from here, but John comes in every year. I think last year was the first year I believe I met you, actually out here. And you come a long ways. You hunt a lot of hours. These guys put in hours and hours and hours. I don't know how you guys have the stamina to come out here and stay out here. Larry stays here. We're using his host site here to bring this to you guys on DVD. And it's amazing the time. John goes out here and walks for miles. Jim the same way, and Larry. They also use quads. These quads. John uses a little 2-wheel motorbike. Which works out good, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You can go slow, look at a lot of terrain.
You can see a lot right directly in front was the most important.
Yeah, considering. What about this, you guys? What about this in hunting today? We all hunt with metal detectors?
That's yours there, Larry, isn't it?
No, it isn't mine.
You can touch something with it.
It's a very essential tool in hunting. You just go along and hit the magnet on the meteorite. But also we have false meteorites, which we call meteor wrongs. This is a piece of magnetite that I just found yesterday. And this is a meteor wrong. It looks exactly like a meteorite, but it is a meteor wrong. It's a piece of basalt.
But you should worry about these because you never know. Some meteorites have less magnetism than others, right, Larry? Right, you guys?
That's right.
So a piece like this should always bring back. That should always come back. You never know till sometimes you get back exactly what it is. There's a lot of different types of magnetic rocks out here. This piece of hematite, is that a piece of hematite right there, you guys?
Yes.
Piece of hematite. It sticks like a meteorite.
No, that's magnetite.
Magnetite. Oh, it's magnetite there?
Hematite there is not magnetic. I don't think there's a piece of hematite on the table there.
Probably not. They look a lot like meteorites, but the thing is always drag them back and take a look at them and see. What for information purposes, if you're looking for sites, websites and what that have a lot of information on meteorites, where's a good place to go, you guys?
Nuggetshooter.com. Bill Southern in Morristown, Arizona down here, has probably one of the best sites right now. Multiple sites. He has probably about 6 different forums all combined into one forum. Plus he has his store involved in that also, where he sells supplies, and he also gives instructions. Bill Southern's a very informative meteorite hunter too. He's hunted this field quite extensively.
I met Bill here last year, and was impressed with the man. And I hadn't really gotten to Nugget Shooter yet, but I would have to say that every day is probably the first thing I do in the morning, and it's the last thing I do at night. If you want some good information on meteorite hunting, that's an absolute perfect forum to get onto. The help, I can't believe the help that these people provide to these young people. We have, who is it? Basalt Guru?
Yeah,
how old is he?
Reg McGlitch's father gets on there quite a bit. Then we have quite a few of the bigger dealers throughout the country that study meteorites, and they offer information on there. Larry gets in there quite often and helps people with his viewpoints on things.
Well, you're Paleface.
I'm Paleface.
You're Paleface. Yes. I'm Mobile Homes on there, and I'm fairly new to it. And as we're busy, a lot of times we're not on there. But you're pretty active on it, Ken.
I'm active on it, especially in the meteorite forum portion of it. Yes, I try to answer all the questions that I can and help new people to try and get them orientated in the area, trying to keep them on the proper land, because we have a wilderness area over here we have to really respect.
Absolutely.
And we have private property in here, and there's a lot of mixed land. And trying to educate these newer people is really a difficult situation.
It is. Well, it's hard to tell who is hurting the environment and who's helping it. And usually everybody gets blamed for what, 2%?
Right.
Of the population out there. We also have a problem in some areas like Gold Basin, because we have the recreation out there, Lake Mead Recreational Area,
right.
And that's taboo, absolutely taboo. They want nothing picked up, nothing taken, and it would be a little dangerous to go in there and just try and find something. And by the way, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Am I right?
That's right.
That's absolutely right. We also have a problem with terrain here, between the south field, which we're sitting right now, and the north part of this field. It's separated by I-40. And by the way, we're at the I-40. We're at number 13. What is
Milepost 13.
Milepost 13. Thank you, guys. Milepost 13. So you know how to get here. And by the way, the directions we will put on the internet, so you'll know exactly how to get into the field. But you've got to be careful. The north portion of the field is sandy, pretty rugged terrain. And then you've got those railroad tracks.
Right, the railroad right away through there, as well as I-40, is pretty much out of bounds. You have to respect their rights. The railroad does own all that land through there, and they really don't want people crossing over their tracks. The wilderness area is beyond that, and that's where the strew field is. There's no problem of hunting within the strew field in the wilderness area, but you cannot take vehicles of any kind in there. So it's strictly walking.
As far as trash and digging holes out here, I know that most of us are really careful about trying to leave a lot of open holes. If they ever ran cattle in again, of course, they'd probably step in and break their leg, but there's a lot of other ways they can do that as well. But the BLM is very worried about that, and we must maintain our sense of control out there in the field. Batteries, we found some batteries out there a while back, and it's not a good thing to do. And of course, we don't know who those are. Say something about your club. You're involved in a club.
Our club up there, Kingman, Mojave Prospectors, we've got claims, gold claims, out in Gold Basin, and a lot of our members hunt meteorites. And with respect to what you were talking about with filling in holes and such as that, we not only fill in our own holes, but we fill in any other holes that we see. Larry knows from major experiences what can happen out here to people that don't know what they're doing. They leave the holes, they leave trash. Experienced hunters like all of us we clean all that up behind them.
We do. We carry out a lot of trash out here, and
And
it's,
clubs, they stress that. All the clubs do throughout the area, as well as the Havasu Gold Seekers Club, the Bullhead Treasure Hunter Club. Our Kingman Club is very stringent on those rules.
there's a lot of clubs that hunt out here. They have special club meetings out here. They have hunts, and it's very important for these to get our young people involved. I was at a function this weekend, and my goodness, talk about gals. There was 13 women with metal detectors. 13 women out there, and that surprised me a lot. You know, see, the women are now getting into sport, and they were all testing over meteorites. While they were testing, I noticed something, though. A lot of their machines would not pick up meteorites. Give us some input, you guys, on that one, if you would, please.
Well, there are detectors that are basically coin detectors, and then you have prospecting detectors, which also work fairly well as a meteorite detector. But they've never really designed a detector for meteorites, so we have to kind of adapt to it.
Is that, are we talking about like the difference between what, VLF and discrimination machines?
Right.
Is that the difference?
My VLFs will discriminate, but we're talking about multi-purpose machines.
Right.
That are designed for coins as well as relic hunting, and then you have your gold machines, and that's more or less John was referring to as the multi-purpose machines.
Right. I hunt with a VSAT, and it's about a 1995 machine, I guess. John, what do you hunt with?
I hunt with a Fisher Goldbug 2.
Goldbug 2, just bought out by Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, just bought out by Bounty Hunter. Larry?
MineLab GP Extreme.
MineLab GP Extreme.
Yeah.
I know you're happy with yours because
yeah.
Todd is very happy with his. By the way, we have Todd Parker and Bill Versluis, and both those guys are out hunting in the field right now. And who knows, in the next little while we'll probably hear something from them by radio that maybe they've found something, unless they're holding the calls off me, which they might be while we're having this. And hopefully we can find them in the field, as well as we're going to follow you guys in the field today. And so what do you use for a machine, by the way?
I use two machines. I use a White's GMT, which is top of the line White's gold machine. It's very sensitive for gold, and consequently it's very sensitive to the metal in the meteorites. And then I'm also using a MineLab GP3000, and I do like the nugget finder coils for that machine. Right now I'm using a little 9-inch coil on my 3000 MineLab.
Would you guys recommend that people stay with the coil they originally get for a while before they get off on other coils, or should they just jump to another coil?
It depends on what you're hunting. If you're hunting wide open country and not too many rocks, you can put a larger loop on it. But I always prefer the standard loop. I'm just familiar with it.
Larry, what are you using?
Yeah. It depends on the situation which coil to use.
I'm using the same coil I got, and I seem to be pretty happy at this point. But then again, I don't know any better, So
Your stock coils on most of your meteorite machines are pretty adequate.
And
Yeah.
The larger loop I don't like because it's a little heavier. So
exactly. And you carry yours. I saw you
carry it on my hip.
on the hip. Larry has a unique situation. He carries his. You're carrying yours on your back.
Well, the battery pack is on the back.
It's on the back.
MineLab.
And then you've actually got a bungee cord, and we'll take a look at that later on, that actually helps you with the weight of the
Right.
coil when you're carrying a big coil.
Supports the
So
machine.
he's balanced out basically when you're running. I thought that was unique when I saw it the first time. What are you using, Jim?
If I'm using my MineLab, I like Larry. I carry my battery in a hydration pack on my back, and I have a speaker right here by my ear that I use with it. If I'm using my Whites, then it's mounted on my hip and allows me to have my shaft and my coil pretty free.
Headphones. What are you guys using for headphones?
I use this Jimmy Sierra. I like it. It's comfortable.
I'm using the
Real
cheapest
sensitive.
pair I got because I'm so bad with dropping stuff that until I get smart enough to.
I have a pair of Koss headphones which have a lifetime guarantee, and I'm on my third pair right now. So
Really?
if they wear out, I just send them in and they replace them.
That's what I'm using. Costs. When I use headphones, like I said, I went to a speaker because I like to hear the rattlesnakes, and we have a lot of snakes out in this country.
That was a point I was going to bring up next. As far as noise, we're of course on the south side right now, and it's probably the quietest place I've been lately. If you've ever been to the north side, if that isn't the noisiest place, the first time I was there, I thought, I don't think I can do this. Give me your input on that, you guys.
There's a train about every 17 minutes over there.
I've had problems with the rocks. Everything's hot.
I've run into some rattlesnakes from time to time. I usually see them. Sometimes they don't rattle though, but I try to stay away from them.
Todd, we ran into one about 3 or 4 days ago. A little sidewinder, and we'll have a picture on this DVD. A little bitty guy with just a button. And years ago, I was climbing the hills, and I reached up on the same type of rock that this was laying on, trying to gather the warmth in the morning, and just laid my hand right on top of it. Well, thank goodness it was early in the morning, and that snake was just cold and couldn't bite me, but I'll tell you, it scared me to death. Bill Versluis, who's out hunting in the field right now, he wears leggings, and I don't know if you guys do or not. Probably a good idea if you'd wear some leggings out there.
Depends on the terrain out here.
Yes, it does.
Really, if you're in pretty much open areas, you can get by without your snake gaiters. But when you get into the real brushy areas, it's wise to wear them.
I think so too.
We've got 3 main species down here. You got your little sidewinders, and you got your Mojave greens right in here, and then you got your western diamondbacks. And the most vicious one of the bunch is the little Mojave green. He's not actually all that little because he'll get 4.5 feet, but he's aggressive.
Well, and aggressive is the word for it. If a Mojave green is traveling at you, you had better just move out of the way because they're going where they want to go.
I had one charge at me once.
They will actually, come after you if you're laying in their path. And those little devils don't coil so much to strike you. They rear up. They raise up, and they can raise off the ground, my goodness, 1.5 feet if they're 3 feet long, and strike. Ho!
Your north side over there is probably the most dangerous part of this field for snakes because there's a tremendous amount of basalt boulders over there. And they get down on the shady side of those boulders. And so many of these meteorites now, especially it's been hunted so hard, they're laying up against them boulders. And so many of the hunters haven't swung up tight against those rocks. Well, when you see one, if you reach under to pick it up, it's wise to check first. Especially those little sidewinders.
Always go by the adage, never put your hands where you don't see them.
Right.
Is Todd out there? Todd or Bill? Is Bill out there? I want to check with these guys and see where we're at. I haven't heard a call. Maybe they're getting something on another.
Yeah, Wayne. How's it going?
Yeah, Bill, they've been holding my call off. How are you doing out there?
Well, I picked one up. I've come up on one. Real nice one. When you get a chance, come out this way. I got the cameraman with me, and we're checking it out right now. I'm looking around the other locations near it.
Okay, you left it laying there so we can see it in the ground, I hope, Bill?
Yeah, we've got it ID'd for location.
Terrific. Send that to Todd and the GPS coordinates so we can get back out there and find you here in a little while. Thanks, Bill.
10-4. It's been a good day so far. We'll catch you later.
Well, who'd have thought we'd actually found one while we're out here doing a production? Sometimes they're hidden, pop their heads out of the ground, right, you guys?
10-4.
Thanks, Bill. Where were we? Oh, on the snake issue and scorpions. We got to bring scorpions up. Mm-hmm. My hand right here, I have a spot that's actually there's no meat in there on my thumb. That's because I reached around and picked up a rock. And I think you need to be aware when you pick up that rock, you better look underneath it to see what's underneath there. Sometimes of the year, those scorpions are under almost every rock.
Oh yes.
And it gets quite dangerous at times. They're not as deadly as a rattlesnake, but you always want to have, of course, your emergency devices out here. I like to hunt with a friend. I hunt with Todd. We go in pairs. But if you have to go by yourself, you'd better carry the right gear to the phones, the radios, and all the things to get it done. We're going to show a display on that later on. Cut for a second. Okay? little break and we're back here in action again. There's a couple of things that we didn't bring up. Jim, you use what are you using there for
This
a club?
is a wombat widowmaker. If you're into an area where some of these meteorites may be buried, it's great for getting down in there and digging. But mostly in this field, you really don't need a big heavy-duty pick. You can usually get by with a small one like this here. That's about all you would need.
And of course,
What do you use, Larry?
how long is
I
your
use a small one like you just had in your hand.
John?
Yes, I have a pick, and if I expect to find meteorites on the surface, I just carry a little knife, a long knife on.
how's your backs from digging all day on your knees and everything?
I really don't get down much on my knees. Now, a lot of the guys wear the knee pads there, which was great.
Yeah.
Larry, you wear them like this, don't
Yes,
you?
I wear knee pads.
I wear one. Or one on my right leg, and that's about as much as
Yeah.
I require right now. Guess you get serious. I can't find anything that big. So I'm good to go at this point in time. But that'd be a good one. By the way, while you're digging, John, Larry, you guys are sitting right next to it. There's some things out in these fields out here you need to be aware of. And one of them is what, John?
Unexploded ordnance. These are a lot of times they're buried. Sometimes it might be buried half a foot in the ground. If you're digging with a digging tool, a pick or something, you could accidentally discharge.
You could discharge one, couldn't you?
And you should be careful how you dig it.
Well, these are the links. The links that are on here, you'll find those separately sometimes. This one's not going to come off here. But we find a lot of those links out here, as well as the spent 50 caliber bullets.
Yeah.
Along with what else? Come on, you guys.
Many times,
30s.
Yeah, many times you can identify your target with your detector, and you get like a non-ferrous signal on it. You can kind of tell. He's dug quite a few of them. You'll know after a while.
I can't yet. I can't. Larry says he can discriminate between the 50s,
Yes.
the 50 calibers,
The
and the
30s out to
30s.
dig, they sound just like a meteorite.
Aren't they a screamer? Boy, that's what I was saying. 30s are bad. Of course, then we've got this little pieces of spent, or actually where the projectile has hit and just gone to pieces.
That's a piece of the brass.
Piece of the brass here. You won't see the lead. The lead will drive you crazy. You'll think you're into a piece of gold, right, guys?
What
right.
what really gets you is the armor-piercing steel core that's in those 50 calibers. It'll sound just about like an iron meteorite.
Right.
That's 50 caliber there in his hand, and that's got an armor-piercing steel inside of it. Sounds just like this.
They're noisy. They're
Very
noisy.
noisy. Yes.
I dug some the other day here on the south side, excuse me, that were, because we have so much less noise on this side than we do on the north side. I got some the other day 6 and 8 inches deep out there. But those 30s are foolish. Also, 22s. There's 22. What do you have there?
Yeah.
What's that, Larry? Like
Pulling
a
your trash.
like a
Yeah.
38,
Yeah, 38.
380 or something like that.
Right.
Some brass out there in the field that you'll find out there. All kinds of things. Also, what about the wire?
There's a tremendous amount of that screen door wire. It was used for target material drug behind the planes, and they were shooting at it with these 50s and 30 calibers. And so you'll find the full length of the screw field. You'll find little pieces, some of them even an inch long. It's like a hair on your head. It's screen door wire is what it is. But your metal detectors will all pick it up.
They sure go off.
Oh, yes.
And that was patent trained. How much of this country out here?
Patton, most of his maneuvers were down below. Patton was mostly involved in land maneuvers, which was down by Needles and on down in that area. The majority of this area here was all aerial.
Aerial gunnery.
Right, all aerial gunnery, and there was no bombing in here. The only bombing they did was with flour sacks. They dropped sacks of flour, but all of their aerial came out of Kingman, out of the airport up there.
I don't see the tank tracks.
No,
like
there
we do in
wasn't
other
any
areas.
tanks in here at all. It was all down below. Patton's maneuvers were down below, whereas this was World War II training in here.
Good to know. Good to
Right,
know.
yeah.
Now,
It didn't even overlap. A lot of people thought Patton was in here, but he was down below.
I assumed it was part of his outfit that was just off in this area, and then and then they combined when they went to war. But I guess
Yeah, Yeah, he was down below with his maneuvers because they used a lot of big artillery shells in those tanks. But up here, they did not.
We find the shrapnel out in Ward Valley out there,
Right.
and a lot of heavy shrapnel out there. It's something to see. Maps, you guys. What about maps of the area? What do you think?
Availability, Larry might know a little bit about that on
A good source of maps is
I think I've got your map, Larry.
this Delorme Atlas for the state, and it's pretty comprehensive. And also in this area we use a map that Jim has spent hours and hours compiling with of the strewn field, and there's also BLM maps that Jim has here.
You can buy those at the local BLM offices.
fields.
And of course you get topo maps probably at any outfit store or outfitting store. What are some of the, I forget the names of Big Five.
Right.
Big Five. Who else sells maps? Map World. They're big.
I
on
don't
the
know
internet.
if DeLorean has printed maps or not, but there's quite a few websites that you can go into and print
Wait, you
out
got a copy?
free maps off of them.
Really? Excuse me a second, you guys. There's Todd. Go ahead, Todd.
What are you doing right about now? You still busy?
Yes, we're still in the interview, Todd.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave you alone. I got a good signal here. Seems pretty deep, so I'm going to start digging at this, and I'll get back with you later.
Have you seen Joe, Pete, or Bill, our camera guys?
Camera guy's with me.
Oh, you have a camera with you. Okay, good. Send that coordinates back to our trailer here, and we'll get over as quick as we can. We're just about through with the interview.
10-4.
Thanks, Todd. See you soon. Sounds good, guys.
Sounds good.
Are you guys anything else we need to talk about?
Well, the things that you might need in this field here as far as an everyday thing, and I think the top number one is bring water to Franconia when you come in the summertime.
Exactly.
Don't get yourself dehydrated out here. So important.
You know what nobody realizes, and I've lived here most of my life, in between Lake Havasu, Bullhead, and business and everything else, is sometimes it's cool in the morning out here. Even in the summertime, it doesn't seem bad. And you take off and you're out there about a mile and a half if you desire to go that far. You get tired, and I'll tell you what, when it's 118 degrees, when you find that out, it's hard to get back to the car.
Larry can tell you he stays prepared both ways. He's prepared here at his trailer, and then when he leaves with his quad, and he's quite a quad guy. He's been at it for a lot of years. He gets out there. He's got stuff on his quad,
Yeah.
and then he's got his backpack.
Yeah.
I think you carry stuff in your backpack.
Yes,
Don't you?
I carry a gallon of water on my quad.
I used to try and go without water. I did. I'm guilty of that. Totally guilty of it. And now I've got to carry a canteen. You have to know your limits.
You dehydrate in a hurry out here. It sneaks up on you. And in the summertime, I don't know exactly what it amounts to, but you should have a liter of water for every say for every hour you're out there at least
It's a fact.
on you.
It's a fact. And by the way, you only want to go half the distance you think you're going to go based on your water. Because when you find out you can't get back, sometimes it's too late.
Especially on that north
When I run out of
side.
my water, I head back.
Exactly. I've been doing it before around my water, so I've got to drink on the way back.
You can park pretty close to your hunting areas on the south side. But when you're on the north side, you're hiking.
Right.
And you need it with you.
I'll tell you what a treat we have had today. Absolutely. I can't even believe this. Jim Smaller, Larry Sloan, John Wolf. What a pleasure having you guys here. Are we about getting ready to go to the field? You want to go find something out there?
Like a-
Huh? Yeah, how about the hunt, huh? Thanks, John. Thank you very much. Larry, what a pleasure. I never would have expected to get all you guys in one place at one time in a chair with a camera on you.
Well, I wish we could have had some of the great ones like Bill Southern up here,
Oh, me too.
John Blennert down there. John Blenner's a great meteorite hunter. Sonny Clary.
Oh, yes.
A lot of the people that were involved in this field, Mike Miller,
Ruben Garcia.
Ruben Garcia. There's
Guys.
just a whole lot of people that were involved in this field.
Absolutely.
That, need mentioning.
I need to have you guys today. We've got an itinerary here that's absolutely bizarre. We've lost our script because you guys came in. Thank goodness we lost our script. It wouldn't have it any other way than have you guys right here now. But we need to probably show the folks how to hunt. A lot of times they miss getting under the bushes, and they miss getting underneath some of that basalt that's hot. And hopefully today maybe you could give them a little help out there when when the cameraman is following you out there to some of the specifics and what. And just hopefully, as good as you guys are, we can put something in the bag today on camera. I'm really looking forward to that. Can't wait. We're going to the field. We'll see you there.
We've got your cords. We'll be there in a minute.
It'll take me a few minutes to get set up.
Okay, I'm heading to Bill.
Whoa, I got me one. Oh yeah, that looks good. Looks good. Yeah. Wow.
What do you got, Bill?
I got me a good one, Wayne. I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, looks
like
one. Oh,
Check this out, man.
go pick it up.
Yeah.
Pick it up and see. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful one. Oh man, I'm thrilled.
Dandy.
I'm thrilled.
That is a dandy.
There's got to be more around
That's
here.
got some good weight to it,
Look,
buddy.
it's got a break on it. It's been broken a little bit, but
Oh yeah,
find some more
absolutely.
pieces around here.
All right, Bill.
Thank you.
Good one, Bill.
Yeah, we've
That's
done
all
good.
right. Boy, you sure did.
I'm
That's
happy.
Absolutely excellent. Good grief. Wrap it properly so don't scratch it.
Oh yeah.
Don't
No,
scratch
I'm
it.
not losing this one.
Well, this is good, boys. That is excellent to find this in the field like this.
Yep.
Of course, you guys been out here all morning, right?
Yeah.
You getting tired?
It's worth it though. Yeah, it's worth
Yeah, I
it.
guess it is.
I'm going to check around this area and see if I can find any pieces off this one.
You excited now? Good to go,
Oh,
huh?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Got your enthusiasm
We'll do it
back?
again. Yep.
Okay, we're going to take off and see if we can find the rest of the guys.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
you got to be
bailing.
that direction. Okay. I'll get with you.
Holy Joe! No basalt? Let me try it. Let me try it once. Oh! Holy Joe! Yeah! What a honker! Come on, let's excavate that puppy. Let me see here once. Let me touch it with my magnet. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Screamer!
Oh yeah.
Oh, pop.
Yep.
Sure,
Getting
yeah.
steak dinner tonight.
Oh man! Oh come on, be a meteorite, huh? Come on, be one. Be one. Oh man. Show us. Oh, look at the rust.
Look at
Oh man, look at that. Oh, Todd! Todd!
There you go, brother.
Oh, buddy! Man, what a screamer!
Wow.
What do you think? Feel it. Oh man.
Couple pounds, three.
Holy
3 pounds?
Joe. I don't know, by fish standards, what do you think? Oh,
Keeper.
you son of a gun, you. Man, that is beautiful. Oh, look, looks like it might have a piece.
Yeah, there's a piece missing there.
Piece missing. We'll have to look for that.
Oh yeah.
In there and see. Oh, Man, oh my gosh, this is what it's all about. These are hard to find and rare to find something that big out here. Mike, you got this shot good?
Yeah.
Mike, if you got this shot good,
yeah.
I want this shot good for this DVD, buddy.
It's not quite hunted out, is it, Wayne?
No, not by any means. I'll bet that thing is 1,200, 1,500.
Yeah. My biggest one to date.
Well, you lunker finder, man. You got the luck. Oh, man, Todd! Oh, you son of a gun, you. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's one of those links off the 50 caliber belt. Bingo! Yeah, that's got excellent pull.
Oh, boy, that's a sweetheart.
Oh, that's bigger than...
I'm glad I was with you when you found this one.
Oh, you betcha.
This is acting. Can I pick it up?
Yeah.
You care? Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, man.
That's the way they look. Been on the surface a long, long time.
No kidding. That's a sweetheart. That's different than I've ever seen. It's like a real flat piece.
Yeah, it's part of another piece.
Wow.
There's probably more of it around here.
You want to picture that, or do you care?
No.
Larry's picture of it?
Sometimes we take pictures. They usually have the whole, the whole piece.
That is nice.
Okay.
That is real nice, John. That's very nice. Oh, I think they're just so clean out here. It's just so much fun when you find one like this. And then you go nuts. You want to look all over the place. You think there's another one laying everywhere by you. Yeah. Oh, gee. Mike wants to know how this works. What is this doing? Kind of neutral balancing this?
It supports the machine.
The machine and the coil.
Yeah, it takes the weight off your arm.
So what do you have? How much weight do you think you would have normally, and with that, do you suppose?
It probably saves you 4 or 5, 6 pounds.
Well, that's a pretty slick setup.
Yeah, it works good.
It's the first time I've ever seen it, Larry, and it works pretty good. So you got what do you call it, a carabine up here on this.
Right.
And
then when I find a meteorite, I just unhook it and I can lay down the machine and I can start digging.
You can dig your hole. That is pretty slick. You know, I may have to do that. Of course, I don't have that much weight on mine carrying this.
Yeah, yours is a lighter machine.
Like I carry mine around. Sometimes my neck gets a little tired.
And then with this machine, we've got the battery pack on the back.
In the backpack.
In the backpack.
Which works pretty good. So you got extended battery power with that as well.
That's right.
Well, that's pretty slick.
I believe I've found a chondrite down here and possibly an iron. I'm not sure on the iron, but I can see a chondrite, I'm pretty dang sure. You can run on down.
Yeah, Mike had the radio. You're right in front of us here. I'm on my way.
Gotcha.
Yeah, hey Wayne. It's right down here into this little bush here. I hollered to John, he come up.
Oh boy, does that stick out?
Oh
Like,
yeah, this
that-
sticks like a sore thumb.
it's like a real sore thumb.
Listen to this. Just blanks the
Good
detector
grief.
out on that. I think there's a little iron right back over here.
Was
too.
that
I'm
right?
not sure.
Oh, I see a scratch here. We got in the
Yeah.
ground there.
Well, I think it's right back over in here someplace. I think I had a signal.
Jim.
Where in the heck was it? Right here.
Boy, does that go off the top?
I think that's an iron. Yeah. Yeah, let me
Two.
see here. Let me check it
Two
out.
right here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Usually where you find a chondrite, a lot of times you'll find an iron. Uh-oh. It's on the deal
Got it
here.
on there.
Yeah, well here it is.
Oh, sticking
Right there.
on
Look at
there.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, look at the pull on that thing.
Oh wow, look at that. Boom.
Bam.
Yeah, that's Franconia iron.
And you got two this close.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull
Go
it.
ahead, hang on.
Let me try that
Yeah, this
one.
I think here is probably about 100 grams.
Oh, if you can only feel the pull on this.
Let's see if that jumps right up on the magnet too.
There you go. I'll hold that.
You got the camera there, Larry?
A few more in here too.
I take a close-up.
And this is what you should do. Here's what Larry's doing. He's taking a picture with a macro while it's on the ground close, so exactly where it's found.
Then I take another and setting out of the hole, so you can see the
Hole and the
hole where it was and the
meteorite.
meteorite.
Good documentation. And that is
Oh, you
excellent.
betcha,
Now,
yeah.
what do you do with the iron when you find one?
When they're that small there, I don't
Just-
record them that
just
much.
don't.
If they get up about, this is probably 1.5 grammer. If you get up around 4 or 5 grams, then I start recording them.
Okay.
Right. But,
Well, this is a pretty large find here.
This makes quite a few times I keep forgetting to carry my GPS unit with me and camera.
We've had a dandy day going here.
Oh yes.
Well, you know what? We're going to go back out in the field. Everybody's going to get out here and see what else we can find. We're having a banner day here. This is incredible.
Oh,
Let me
that's
feel the weight. Whoa.
that's got to be
That's a nice
that's
one.
either a Franconia or a Buck Mountain Wash. Definitely.
My goodness. That is a dandy. Real dandy.
That's a keeper.
My goodness. Wow. Congratulations.
Both of them are.
Well, okay, guys, let's get back in the field. We're going to take off hunting here, so bye. Are we all gone? We're all gone. Let's disappear.
Wow, what a day.
Boy, I guess so, Jim. Here we are. This is the end of it. Shadows are starting to get a little bit long. We've had, I can't tell you what kind of a day we've had. I'm pretty excited myself. I don't even know what to say. Larry Sloan's got a dandy. Bill Versluis, you've got a dandy.
Yeah.
Todd Parker blew us away. Look at this. What do we guess this at?
A couple pounds.
Oh, very,
Couple
very
pounds.
definitely. A couple pounds.
I mean,
there.
that's a piece of work right there. That's just absolutely beautiful, isn't it? That is something.
A lot of caliche on it from where it's been
Yeah.
sitting under the ground over the years and rust.
Boy, no kidding. Jim Smaller.
I can't believe we've been over the top of that several times. Some of us, I think.
I know,
but you
I
can't
know we
cover
have.
it all. That's
Yes,
the
we
thing.
have.
No,
You know,
cover it all.
we can only work a coil.
6
We can only
feet.
work a coil, you guys, that's like this big. So when you go over in areas wide as you can, there's still other areas around here
It's a 6
we haven't
foot
touched.
swath.
Jim, you got a nice one.
Yeah, got a
Jim
nice
Smaller
one here.
got a nice one.
little iron.
John Wolf, he's the man. He found the field. Thanks to him, we've got all this rocks from space. Now what do we do with them? We send them to a university or to somebody that can test it, classify it. Right, Jim?
Right.
Larry?
Send them in, get them.
Larry knows it.
There's 3 different universities here in Arizona. NAU, University of Arizona, and ASU. So all three of them classify meteorites. And they require either 20% of the meteorite if it's a small meteorite, or 20 grams. So whichever category that your meteorite fits in, you send it in and they'll classify it. Sometimes it might take over a year, but eventually you'll get it back.
And if you're lucky, like yourself, you'll end up with a find that's only yours. It's only yours.
And don't clean it with anything but water.
And they won't, and they will not give you, put your name on it. They usually use a terrain feature, and that would be a mountain peak or something that's physically on a map. And yours is Buck Mountain Wash.
Buck Mountain Wash.
And John, what have you got? You got Franconia.
Yeah, Franconia and Bluebird.
And Bluebird. And Jim?
I got Buck Mountain Wash 001, isn't it? I think.
Yes.
There, yeah.
And John's got.
And 002. Do you have two of them?
I've got a pairing.
Oh, you have 02.
Three
Okay.
Yeah,
You've got 02.
I've got a pairing to the Buck Mountain Wash H45, isn't it? Brescia?
H35.
H35?
Polymec Brescia.
That's the one we think possibly these irons may have came out of. Really.
Well, to find an iron over here is pretty rare.
Yes. Yes.
I've not found one. I don't know if anybody besides yourself and a few that have really hunted the field extremely hard finds an iron.
Right. They're not too deep into the field on this south side.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are down lower here. Few and far between.
Well,
classification on the irons is in the works right now, and it will probably come back with the name Yucca, because just about everything here's been taken.
No kidding.
So right now the preliminary says Yucca.
My goodness. Well, we've had a great day. I guess we ought to close it now. There might be an hour left or 2 hours to go out there and do a little more finding around. For Larry Sloan, Bill Versluis, Todd Parker, Jim Smaller, John Wolf, I'm Wayne Holmes. We had a great time today. Thanks for being with us.
Oh no.
Oh no. What the hell happened here now?
Despair.
You did find a nail on the other one?
Off 33.
That might be.
But boy, you should always try and carry something with you. Fix a flat, some air with the cans, with the stuff in it. Thank goodness John Wolf has a patch kit so that we're able to patch it. He has a 12-volt air compressor, so we're getting it filled up. I'm having my lunch while that's happening. It looks like a team effort. I think we're going to leave it just at that before they throw a rock at me. Facility along the beautiful. Shit. Okay, ready? Yeah. Take 3.